Well, hey there, friends. So today we're going to be going through what in the heck do you look for when you're doing keyword research? Because as y'all know, having the right keyword strategy is foundational to getting found in search and your SEO strategy and really your evergreen content strategy as a whole. But what are you looking for when you go to do keyword research? What actually matters? What doesn't matter? What can you ignore? What do you need to dive into? I've got a list of 8 things for y'all today that I want you to think through. I want you to check the boxes of these eight criteria that a keyword needs to meet before you're like, yep, I'm gonna go for that booger. All right, y'all, we're gonna dive right on in. Make sure that you're ready to take notes. Hey there, fellow entrepreneur. Welcome to Simple SEO and Marketing. Do you want to grow your business with sustainable traffic sources? Have you heard about the power of search engine optimization and you want to take advantage of it to get more traffic, more eyeballs on your business? But when it comes down to it, does SEO feel complicated and hard to implement? Are you tired of wondering what in the heck to do with your website to get more traffic and more leads knocking on your door? What if I could tell you that there was a simple, proven system for using SEO, blogging, and copywriting to get leads from your website, and not just any leads, high converting leads. Hey, I'm Faith Hannon, wife, mama, copywriter, SEO strategist, and barrel racer. And for the last 8 years, I've been figuring out what works and what doesn't work in the world of online marketing to get organic traffic. And now I'm here to share all the things I'm learning in the trenches of SEO, copywriting, and content marketing. How does 300%, 500%, or even 12,000% more traffic in a year sound? What could your business do with that kind of traffic increase? How many more people could you help? So listen in and prepare to take notes. I'm about to drop simple, actionable SEO marketing and copywriting tips, all with a heavy dose of Jesus-loving encouragement. Let's get you more traffic and more leads so you can help more people with your God-given gifts. So throughout the years of teaching SEO and teaching keyword research to multiple clients and students, and now inside of my group coaching program that I'm leading, one of the questions that I get pretty dang often is what makes a good keyword, Faith? What makes this keyword a good fit for me versus this other one? And obviously, there's a lot that goes into that. And I have half a bajillion episodes on keyword research on this podcast. But today, I'm just going to give you a straight up checklist on what you need to be looking for when you're doing keyword research. Now, if you have not listened to episode 229, the episode right before this, make sure that you catch that, because I'm going to in that episode, I walk you through why not knowing how to use your keyword research tool is biting you in the butt. Because it really is. But now, once you learn how to use your keyword research tool, this is what you're looking for in a keyword. Now, if you were like, hey, Faith, just show me how to do the whole thing, I actually have a new product out called Keyword Research Kickstart. It is a steal of a deal with just exactly what you need to know and do to do your keyword research. You can get through the entire mini course. You can get through all of the content in under an hour. And you can jump into using Ubersuggest the right way, because even though Ubersuggest is the best tool out there and definitely the easiest, you can still get lost in the weeds and spend your time on areas that you're not going to get the most bang for your buck. So grab Keyword Research Kickstart. It's a steal of a deal. The link is in the show notes. And what that's going to do is it's going to tell you exactly, okay, put this here, click here, ignore this, do this, bada bing, bada boom, and get you from zero to keyword research hero in under an hour. Okay. So here's the criteria that you need to look for when you're evaluating if a certain keyword is one that you want to go for to get traffic to your website, your blog, to ultimately get sales, right? Because that's the whole goal with content marketing, not just to get eyeballs and hearts and stars or whatever, but it's to get sales in your business. So a keyword needs to meet these 8 criteria. Number 1, is it authentic to you and your brand? Is that keyword something that actually fits? A lot of people use the word aligns with your brand, right? Is that keyword a good fit, right? Like if that sucker was a shoe, would you put it on your foot and be like, ooh, I look good? No, like, is the keyword authentic? Does it feel like something that you and your brand should be talking about? Okay. If it is, great. Check that bad boy off on this list. Okay. Number 2, is it helpful to your audience? And you have to have both of these criteria met, because y'all, I could talk about all kinds of things all day long on this podcast, but it's not necessarily what's going to be helpful to my audience. If a piece of content is not both authentic to your brand and helpful to your audience, it does not make your content list, because we are inundated with information, right? Nobody needs to hear about like the little like toe fungus, jot and tittle issues of your day, or of like the tangents that your passions and, ideas go on, right? Like, I'm not going to sit here and tell you all about sourdough. That's not what this podcast is about, okay? You don't come to me for help with your sourdough. You come to me for help with marketing your business, getting more eyeballs on your business and more sales from your business, right? So the piece of content, every piece of content that I create needs to be authentic to me. Yes, absolutely, but also helpful to you. Number 3, ready? Is this keyword mid to bottom of your funnel? Now, this is something that's increasingly important with AI summaries coming up in the SERPs, okay? Like, we're not changing that. Let's work smarter, not harder. So a keyword that you are going to create content around does not need to be, you don't want to be going after a what is type keyword, right? We're not talking about what is plantar fasciitis if you are somebody that like fixes people's feet, right? You're talking about the best exercises for that, the best shoes for that, like how to do physical therapy to prevent that or heal that or whatever it is you do. You're not giving what is type content. That didn't work real well in the past, and it's really not going to work very well going forward. You need to think through your client's journey. How are they discovering what you do, deciding that they need it, and ultimately making the decision to purchase what you sell, right? You're not necessarily creating content around the what is, like discovering what you do, right? You want to focus the bulk of your content creation efforts, your content marketing efforts on the mid to bottom of funnel, because that's one, AI is not creating that kind of content. And 2, that's where people are much more ready to make a decision. And you're going to see a much higher ROI in a shorter period of time on your content marketing efforts. Number 4, can you speak with expertise and authority on the topic? Can you actually help somebody with it? And I don't mean to be a jerk saying this. I promise. I will use myself as an example here. So this past week, one of my horses, he did what he threw a shoe, except it didn't come off all the way because it was just like hung on 2 nails. If you're unfamiliar with the horse world, horses will oftentimes have shoes, metal shoes put on the bottom of their foot, nailed into their feet, but their feet are like fingernails. So doesn't hurt. They don't feel, it's not like a mean thing. It helps keep them sound. It ultimately is great for their body to help support their foot like that, blah, 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 blah. But he probably kicked the fence, being a little turkey, and this shoe came mostly off. Well, me being me, I'm like, I gotta fix this. So, and it really did need fixed, like the way it was hanging on, like it genuinely needed fixed. But I go and I get, one of the only horseshoeing tools I have in my possession. And I'm like, okay, I can do this. And I'm like trying to get this stinking shoe off, like using the tool, using every bit of strength I have in my body. And I kid you not, I was out there in 100-degree heat, so maybe 90-degree heat, super humid Oklahoma day. And I'm prying on this thing, like back and forth for like a solid 30 minutes. And I still did not get it done. I was still unsuccessful. So for me to go and teach a clinic or teach, write a blog or do a podcast all about how to remove a horseshoe, that would be a terrible idea. I am not an expert on that. I'm an expert on how to do a bad job of it, on how to be huffing and puffing and still not get the job done. But I'm not an expert on that. I can't speak with authority on that. And so I don't need to try. Just because, maybe that's something that my audience wants to learn about doesn't mean that I need to create content around it if I don't have the actual expertise to speak with authority on the topic. And I think that's where we as business owners can tend to go astray, because we see a keyword pop up with a high search volume and like, oh, I can do that. When in reality, if we don't have any expertise or authority on that subject, like, pass it on by, bro. You're not going to help anybody with that, and they're going to know. They're going to know that little Faith over here is not a horseshoer and I'm not good at taking shoes off yet. Okay. So just know that if you can't speak with expertise and authority on the topic, go ahead and pass on that keyword phrase. Okay. Number 5, and this is, I really need you to sit up and pay attention to this. Does the keyword that you're trying to go for, does it actually fit the searcher intent that you want it to have? Just because somebody is searching for a phrase that could kind of sort of remotely align with what you're wanting to get found for does not mean it's a good fit. We want that keyword that they are typing in, that keyword phrase that they're typing in, to be a 100% match for what it is you want to get found for. There's no room for wiggle room here, just because it's like, ooh, they typed it in like this. Maybe they don't mean that. Maybe they mean this. Like, you need to know that that keyword phrase fits what you're trying to get found for, that their intent fits what you want to get found for. Because if it does not, they might click on your website, but they're going to click away. And Google is going to see that and be like, oh, that's a high bounce rate. We don't want to send more people to their site. And then it ends up ultimately hurting your SEO. Okay. Now, number 6 tip I have for you is I want you to ask, can I create the best content on this topic? When you are doing your keyword research, hopefully in Ubersuggest, using my keyword research kickstart tool, when you are doing that keyword research, you can actually click a little arrow and it'll show you what the top 10 search results are for the organic search results for that keyword phrase, which is great, because then you can go and you kind of like skim those articles and be like, oh yeah, I can do better than that. I can write better than that. Oh, they forgot this point. I can add this in. Because the fact of the matter is, there's probably already a ton of content out there around the keyword that you are trying to rank for, right? And what I want you to do is I want you to think, can I bring a unique perspective? Can I bring something new to the table? Can I create the best content on this topic? Now, there's a fine line here between like perfectionism and just getting it done, right? I am not asking you to write a 5,000 word blog on every topic, okay? Write what's going to serve your audience. However, if you don't really have anything new to bring to the table, then I would pass on that keyword, because there is an area that you excel in. There is something that you have an enormous amount of experience and expertise in. Focus on that for your blog content, and it will not only rank better, but it's going to help more people. Okay, number 7, EEAT, baby. Do you have the expertise, the experience, authority, and trustworthiness to teach about this keyword, okay? Because ultimately, most blog topics, they're going to be didactic in nature, right? You are teaching. You're bringing a solution to the table for a question that somebody is typing in or a query that somebody is typing in. So do you have the expertise? Do you have the experience, right? Like, I have some experience pulling a shoe off of a horse, but I don't have the expertise. You need both, okay? You also need the authority, right? You need to have established yourself, hopefully, as an expert in that field. Again, I'm not going to be teaching y'all about how to make sourdough. I don't have any authority or credibility on the interwebs for that, okay? And then also trustworthiness, okay? Is this an area that you can generate more content around this to create trustworthiness with the SEO gnomes? Or is this something you've even already created trustworthiness? Think through, do I have the EEAT or the capability of building EEAT around this keyword phrase? And the last question is one that I don't think very many people ask that I wish they would. And it is this: do you actually want to create content around that keyword? I know nobody asks that, right? But the fact of the matter is if you really don't want to talk about that thing, it's going to show. We're going to know, okay? And truth be told, there are just some days that you have more energy, more chutzpah, more oomph to create content than others. I get that. But if it's something that you're like, I really just don't want to talk about that. Nope, don't want to talk about it. Don't want to be known for it. Don't want to do it. Then don't, right? There are so many keywords out there. There's so many queries. There's so many searches. There's so much possibility to grow a business, grow a brand, and create content around what you love and what aligns with your business. Like, just pass on the keywords that you're like, ew, that sounds like exactly zero fun. All right, y'all. So those are the 8 things that I want you to consider when you're choosing a keyword to create content around. Is it authentic to you and your brand? Is it helpful to your audience? Is it mid to bottom of funnel? Can you speak with expertise and authority on the topic? Does it fit the searcher's intent? Can you create the best content in the West on this topic? Do you have EEAT, and do you want to create content around that keyword? All right, we'll be back with you next week where I'm going to teach y'all how to outrank your domain authority using my simple system. So if you have not yet purchased the keyword research kickstart that walks you through how to do keyword research using Ubersuggest, the easiest, best way possible, make sure you grab that. It's a steal of a deal. The link is in the show notes, and I'll be coming back at you next week. Love y'all. Bye. Thank you so much for listening in today. Hopefully this episode gave you some really tangible tips for better SEO and marketing to get more leads and more sales from your website. If it did, can I ask you a quick favor? Would you please share this episode with a friend and then just take 10 seconds and go leave a written review on Apple Podcasts? That is the very best way to help more Jesus-loving entrepreneurs scale their businesses so that they can help more people with their gifts and make an even bigger impact for the kingdom of God. And guess what? We now have a Facebook community where we can learn, hang out, and laugh. Go join the Facebook group now. It's linked in the show notes. And all the other things, courses, coaching, and copywriting can be found at my website, faithhannon.com. Until next time, God bless, and I'll talk to you soon.